The Bedlam partnership developed about 10 years ago. It resulted from conversations that I was having with colleagues in the arts sector. We wanted to really engage communities in having open and honest discussions about mental health. We wanted to increase, I suppose, the knowledge and capacity of artists working in that sector to understand mental health issues and support mental health service users. So we put on what we called the Bedlam Festival. It was a festival that ran every 2 years, very kindly funded by the Arts Council. We worked with service users who used their lived experience to help co-produce a variety of different forms of art, ranging from drama and theatre and workshops. So that has run very, very successfully over the last 10 years. And this year we wanted to do something different. Rather than a 2-week festival, what we wanted to do was bring the festival to mental health services.
I'm Emily, I'm Community Engagement Producer at MAC, and I'm coordinating MAC's Bedlam project, which is a creative wellbeing programme for women. So as part of Bedlam here at MAC, we're running creative wellbeing workshops for women. They're referred to us via mental health services in Solihull and South Birmingham. From September until December, we ran a taster programme. So that was an opportunity for women to come in and try out a range of different arts and crafts activities. We also had nature walks in green spaces around Birmingham, including Cannon Hill Park, where MAC is based. We gather feedback from the women that are part of the project after every session. And the women tell us that this project has really had an impact on them, and for many of them has been very significant in their current journeys.
I've been attending a few sessions and I've found them really, really helpful, really beneficial. It's been a nice group, there's no pressure on anybody. It's really enlightening and you feel so refreshed.
I did an interview for an artist yesterday to pick an artist for mental health. So I was on the panel and I really enjoyed that because it got me out and it made me feel I was worth something. As where I work, they don't make me feel like that. So I felt I was worth something.
This project has really had an impact on them, and for many of them has been very significant in their current journeys. Something that some of the group members say is, "Oh, I haven't done art since I was at school." And I think obviously being creative and being artistic is a fundamental part of being human, and it's something that we are often disconnected from as adults. So it's about an opportunity to find that creative part of ourselves, to express ourselves and to play.
We felt it was really important to have a festival like Bedlam because we wanted to encourage people to have open and honest discussions about mental health. We wanted to improve the general well-being of our communities. We wanted to try and reduce stigma, and we really wanted also to give people with lived experience a voice, to have their stories heard. And we so much appreciate the real honesty with which people shared their stories and so supported artists to co-produce pieces of work that were genuine, that were authentic, and really helped initiate some meaningful conversations, not only about mental health, but also mental ill health.
Hello, I'm Gillian and I work for SAMPAD, and I'm the creative producer for SAMPAD on this Bedlam project. The initial criteria is that the people would be referred, and in this project it is the people who have been referred by the people who are working on the grounds through the NHS Mental Health Trust. And they have identified people who they feel would be able to access this and would really benefit for this and who they could support into attending.
In essence, what my role is seeing people who are struggling with their mental health and trying to ascertain kind of what's going on behind that and helping with the social issues that might be contributing to it. So it's a bit of a mix of sort of signposting people to relevant organisations that might support them, but also having sessions to sort of look at their life holistically.
In the other hub, there was also a suggestion that they wanted it to be a wider situations that people can self-refer as well. So there were posters and we were working in an adult education centre as well. So it has been the opportunity to find people and invite them. But if somebody were to see something and think, oh, I quite like the idea of that, they could also come.
They're beneficial to me because I spend a lot of time in my flat and not doing anything. So me coming out and meeting people and doing things which I haven't done for a long time is really beneficial for me. Because I think I'm in a mindset of not being able to do things because I've got disabled because of my back. So getting out is a problem. So it's something for me to look forward to when I come.
It definitely is important thinking about the demographic of the area where the workshops are run. I mean, currently I'm sitting here right now in Spark Hill Adult Community Centre, and the demographic of this area is predominantly South Asian. And because of the people that you have in this area, it's really important to highlight what works for them. You know, it's not going to work the same way in North Birmingham, it's not going to work the same way in East Birmingham, but it's a fact that what we have here right now and almost kind of readily available space where people can just walk in to the centre and it's in walking distance from all their surgeries, is something that has been quite beneficial.
For me, when I'm seeing people, I'm in a clinical room with people and they're coming to see me for the mental health, and it is that sort of that I'm seen as perhaps the expert for the mental health side of things and they're coming to see me for a bit of help. But I feel like when we've been doing this, it's kind of been a gradual sort of leveller and it's been quite nice.
I suffer with mental health and it was through the doctors that gave me the opportunity to attend. I think this is more helpful. I think it's a really good idea. It helps get people out of the house if they're suffering with mental health. You know, some days I don't want to go out the house, but now I've come for the first time, I know that it's something to look forward to. And I think it's a good way of going about it. So I think the actual system is a good way.
It has been a learning and creative experience for all of us. I think one of the real bonuses of this work has been that it's a very equitable space.
I spent many years on my own bringing up the children and I wasn't mixing at all. And I think it's very important because you can get into a sort of a rut. I think there ought to be more publicity about these classes. I think they're very good. It's just a question of getting used to them.
I used to work in like a medium secure hospital, and the service users really enjoyed art because it was a way for them to unload within their mental health but not have that pressure of really talking about everything. And it's a nice kind of transition way where you can create art and talk about your feelings or anything else, but it just not being so like pressurized.
So the space here, everybody does the activity. It's a very level playing field. Everybody's approaching it in their own way.
I'm really not good at art, and people who are on my kind of caseload coming and helping me out with certain things. And it's been just really nice to get to know people in a different way, I think, and also just understanding that we just have quite open conversation. It's been quite nice to see that we all struggle in our own different ways. We all need a bit of help with certain things.
We have really natural conversations about the art, about the process of creativity, how one minute we're, talking about how we find, oh, I don't know whether I can do this. Then you have a very period of silence where everybody's really focusing on it. And then there's a period of, this is really great, and everybody is very positive about each other's. And added into that, you have tea and coffee and biscuits and a real sense of community. And I think that's a really fantastic model to take forward.
So the Bedlam Partnership initially was a partnership between the Mental Health Trust and Birmingham Repertory Theatre and some smaller arts organisations. Over the years it's evolved and more partners have come on board, which is incredibly exciting. For this year's festival we have the Lightpost project, which is hosted by Birmingham Repertory Theatre, a really dynamic project who've been doing some really exciting work around making films with our service users.
My name is CJ Lloyd Webley. I'm a writer and theatre practitioner. I'm currently based at the Birmingham Rep and I'm one of the practitioners leading on the Mental Health Bedlam project.
Hi, my name is Matthias Andre. I am co-director of Lightpost Theatre Company and also a freelance actor and director. And in this project, my role is to facilitate and direct this short film project.
So as one of the practitioners at the Birmingham Rep for Lightpost Theatre Company, we've always been having an interest in mental health and how we can use the arts to support people through their mental health. And the project that we're leading here at Highcroft is for the service users that attend Beechcroft Community Centre, and they're kind of creating a project around some of the stigmas behind mental health.
We've been brought together by our CPNs, community practice nurses, and we are trying to create something to do with mental health, a story that we're all involved in, and that we're trying to create the story first, and then after that the film. We've been filming, and we've already started filming some of it, and it's a fantastic experience, and we're all really enjoying it, and I feel very honoured to be part of it.
In our workshops, what usually happens, especially at the beginning of the process, we always start a session, no matter what it is, with a check-in, making sure everyone's okay, being attentive of the emotions in the space.
One thing our participants have really enjoyed is the fact that we are not mental health therapists, we're not practitioners in that regard. We are from the arts sector, so everything that we're coming with is a fresh perspective for them, because we're actually learning from them, we're learning about their experience, not as someone who's an expert in what they're going through, but someone who is able to help them articulate that so that people can understand.
Yes, they do help me because it brings my awareness about my own mental health, and it makes me feel like, you know, that I'm wanted. I'm doing something for myself, if that makes sense. And I just feel like I feel great about it because it makes me feel special.
Most of well, if not all of the practitioners that are in the room are learning so much from the service users, and they're learning a lot from us. So I think the difference with what we're doing and what they have experienced in the past is that there's no judgment coming from our part, there's no preconceived ideas. We're literally going on a journey, and collectively we've created an amazing story because we're all sharing in this opportunity.
This is why it's important to have a check-in session, so it makes you aware of these things. You know, somebody come in and saying, oh, actually I've had a terrible week, I'm not feeling very good, you know, my energy's quite low. And then by the end of the session, actually seeing how much, you know, getting involved and talking to people and sharing ideas and creativity has actually boosted their mood up.
And a traditional program might be something like talking through with your therapist or something like that, but this is a more creative and long-lasting exercise that has you thinking through the week, rather than your doctor telling you some breathing exercises or something like that, or something that something is handy, don't get me wrong, but it's not, it doesn't have the creative edge to it that makes you think like through the week about the experience.
Personally, I think projects like these are really important. I think it's really vital to have a creative project for people with mental health issues so that they can have different means to express themselves. I think it's really important to be able to kind of give these sort of programs and these sort of opportunities to groups like these, so that they can have that same opportunity to express themselves and to be able to just be creative and have their ideas come to life.
One of our participants, Michael, when he first joined us, he's been writing for a number of years, and he is a very talented writer. And through this process, we've got him in touch with the Foundry Project at the Birmingham Rep, where they support artists to kind of, whether it's directing, writing or producing, things like that, and also being able to read his script and his ideas, and we've actually been able to support him in being able to apply for Arts Council funding and things like that.
I love what I'm doing because I go into character. As I've been into professional kind of drama, and film things before. It brings it back out, what I do, brings me back into character. I love playing the part that I am actually playing. I actually become that character. Considering I've got dyslexia, I've actually become that character. It makes me feel more positive in myself.
When we've been in the room, one thing we've understood from a very early stage was that a lot of the service users haven't had an experience like this where they could just talk openly with each other about the things that they've experienced, and there was a lot of synergy in terms of how they have been dealt with in the past.
I've never come across anything like this before. I've never met like-minded people through this endeavour. So I think this is completely fresh and something that I will think about for the rest of my life probably.
The work of the Bedlam Partnership has been so very, very important. It's important to us as an organisation because we want to be rooted in the communities that we have the huge privilege to serve. It supports us in improving service user experience. It increases the range of meaningful activities that are available to our service users. Ultimately, it also helps improve mental well-being across our communities, and very importantly, it's work that's rooted in being recovery focused, enabling people to just get on with their lives and access mainstream arts activities that ultimately we want available to all.
As this is my second time being at Ardenley, it's an amazing experience to actually just do the workshop as a creative and show the benefits of being an emotive artist, showing the benefits of being able to talk about your own personal circumstance and how you're feeling at the time and put it into music. So my mission is for every creative that's actually on this workshop this afternoon/evening to actually be talking about how they're feeling with a great song in mind.
My name is Sharon, aka Shaz. I work for Red Earth Collective, and Red Earth Collective specialise in working in the mental health sector. Most of the participants would have either had to be service user within an institution, whether that's outside, they've had a miniature breakdown, it's okay, or whether they've lived inside a clinic for many years and have now come on the out. It's best to come to us because we can nurture them in their journey. And because we use the arts, we believe it's the way forward. To me, without the arts, where's the life really? Where's the life without the arts, you know? And it's wonderful to see the service users in action.
My name is Rohan Weber, clinical lead for the Reach Out Inequality Service Evaluation Project. We're currently working with women's services, and it's a medium secure services. So most of our ladies, they have some difficult challenges, and many of them, based on the index offense, they're here, and we're here to actually help them to rehabilitate them and to get them back into communities. Many of them have a lot of talents in them which they don't even recognize themselves, and this program actually helps, to actually bring those talents out. From my point of view, I can say that we have seen a lot of success from this program here. One particular is most of our ladies attend, they are acutely unwell, but because of how stimulating the program is, they would always try to get up to come to attend the program. So for me, that is success.
And people don't even know they got the creativity in them. And then when you get it in them, and then we had a drumming session and it was brilliant. And there was going, I can't play the drum. Even, Daniel, even the staff. If you ever hear the feedback of the staff, they went into a mode like they've never been in before in their life. It was great. The women were so ecstatic. We loved them for it. Look at the joy it brings me.
As a mental health service, we obviously have statutory duties and a statutory responsibility to support people when they develop very serious mental health issues. And we absolutely work with our service users to support them in their recovery. But recovery doesn't happen in hospitals. recovery doesn't happen in clinics. Recovery happens out there in communities, and we really want to ensure that we're working with all the assets within our communities to help them understand the role that they can play in improving the well-being of broader communities, and also supporting the recovery of people with mental health issues and supporting their carers and families. I believe the Bedlam Partnership is perfectly placed to play a leading role in supporting people in their recovery, either when they're using services, when they've been discharged from services, or indeed they have a real role in the prevention arena, so that they can get support in the community before they even get to the point where they need the support of mental health services.